I'm Jonathan Matthews, and I went to the first Music Hub in 2014, where I had just graduated as a dancer from Tisch Dance, but had been along the way playing, composing for my classmates, and Giada said, "You have to do this." And so I did on scholarship, and what ensued was quite an experience unlike any other, because this was a dance program where, because I was a dancer, I was taking class, but I was also playing for the classes in the morning, gradually building the endurance to play for an entire 90-minute class, right? Like, oh, today I'm just going to do pliés, and then by the end of the 3 weeks, right? I was just getting to Grand Allegro and just like, but now I do it twice a week. So I have had the special honor since 2015 to have collaborated with Rashawn Mitchell, who's on faculty at Tisch, on creating music for his Cunningham events that he sets on the Second Avenue Dance Company. And for this upcoming one, in April, the major dance concert, I'm doing something different than what I did from the October concert. I experimented with the idea of performing the practicing of a really difficult piece of music. This time around, in addition to being a okay keyboardist, I'm much more of a singer, actually, and have noticed that there's not too much Cunningham rep that has vocal accompaniment. And when we often think vocalization in dance, we think Meredith Monk. So I was interested in devising a kind of vocal accompaniment to the Cunningham event that I had done a different accompaniment to. In my previous accompaniments, I was really interested in complete separation and lack of awareness of what was happening on stage. But in this one, I'm really interested in being totally and directly activated by what's happening on stage in the moment, having not really studied it before. And so two singers and myself are going to be sort of live commenting in different vocal affectations and techniques on what we're seeing, whether it's only using our consonants or chanting in a long kind of tonal quality, and the idea that we're all just sort of saying what's happening on stage, but in these vocal filters that create incidental harmonies and wouldn't exist without what's happening on stage. So my studies in Toscana Dance Hub sort of informed this process in two ways. One, on my collaboration with a student in the program, I really fell into this process of wanting to compose music that mirrored the choreographic process, and taking advantage of my being a dancer and a musician to be able to understand what the abstracted compositional structure is and how to create it in a movement way and in a sonic way, and ultimately blurring those lines. And so with my student collaboration, I was really invested in observing what I was seeing and how that movement was being put together, and then arranging the sounds accordingly. At the same time, I got to do a wacky improvisation with Robert Boston and Aaron Robinson for a piece Giada Ferran made, where I got to go apeshit with my voice while Aaron was just feedbacking his guitar, and all that was in this similar kind of improvised listening to each other, bouncing ideas off of each other in response to what's happening on stage. And so I would say the two modalities of working in those instances have kind of come together for this project. Musicians should go to Music Hub because you will leave with a completely different understanding of how what you do is useful, while being able to do what you do. Like, it's not one of these things that wants to change everything about you. It actually wants you to come with what you have and what interests you have and maybe haven't explored yet, and just go for it. And there's a complete freedom to fail with the time to pick up those pieces and actually turn it into something new and beautiful and unique.